now that we have our patterns made, we're actually ready to make our blankets. So first thing, guys, fabric scissors are insanely sharp. I know from experience how bad they hurt when you cut your fingers. So make sure when you're using these, you're always aware of where your other hand is, okay? So whatever kind of fabric you have, there's gonna be something called selvage on the end. On fleece, it looks like this. It's like a little rolled lip, and you'll see two little lines of dots underneath it. You need to cut that off. So when you cut it off, it just becomes a long strip. And the way I cut this one was just by laying it out. Make sure whatever you're using your blankets on is clean. So if you're using it on your tables or classroom carpet, clean it first, because these are going to children in hospitals or children in need, and they need them to be clean. So you're gonna take your scissors, hold straight line, and go right along the edge. Some fabrics, it's a white line you'll cut off. Some, it's like this, it's just a roll, and some won't have it. So you'll have to check, and you're just going to take time to cut all the way down. So go through it all again, watching your fingers. A hard surface is easier than carpet because you can kind of just cut right on it and then pull it this way and keep going. This will give you a clean edge and get rid of all that yucky stuff. Now for sizing of your blankets, the smallest you want to do is 36 by 36, which is a yard. So don't do them any smaller than that. They're just too small to use. But you can go up to pretty big sizes, like a twin quilt size, however you want to do it. Fleece by nature is 60 inches. So depending on how big you get your fleece, it is going to be 60 inches, which, you know, is about a yard and a half. You can do a quick trick rather than measuring with a ruler, and on an adult arm, from your armpit to the edge of your finger, this is about a yard. So 1 yard, 2 yards, that's what I have, and it's by about a yard and a half. So this is going to be the size of my blanket, and step one is you're going to cut out the corners. So you're going to lay your blanket again on a flat surface, find the corner, I hope you can see this, and then take your pattern you had made earlier and align it right to your corner. You can trace it in pencil or Sharpie, but I find when I do that, the Sharpie stays on there. So what I like to do instead is just align it to the corner, hold it down, watching your fingers, and then very carefully cut this corner out. Remember, this is 4 inches by 4 inches. So you're gonna cut out this corner. Now, a trick that I learned is start using this as your pattern from now on, because this is slippery on the fabric, but when you put the fleece on the fabric, it stays, and it's not as slippery. These, be inventive, find something fun to do with all the salvage slips, and these are great whiteboard erasers. So I put these in all the student boxes when we're using our little whiteboards, or just keep them for myself. They're also good for cleaning. So now that I have one here, I can just cut just like this. Again, you can trace it, but it's nice to just cut it. And we'll have 2 corners. I'm only gonna do half because I'm gonna save the rest for my kids to do, but you would cut all 4 corners. These are done now. And then you're going to align your blanket so that you have your corners. There is a trick. You can take masking tape and you can put masking tape across this line right here. I'll have to give you a picture, and it will make it easier to cut. But what I like to do right now is line it up and then take that other pattern you made. This was the 4 inches by 1 inch, and I'm just going to align it, and I'm just going to cut up. So right along the edge, and cut, 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 cut. So now I have a little flap. Again, if it's easier for you, you can make the pattern. This might allow more kids to have a job as well, because one can, I'm just using a regular pen, one can go down and make the pattern all the way across, and each time I'm aligning the bottom, okay, straight across, and then someone else, as they're going down making the pattern, can follow and cut. It actually is a lot easier to cut if there's a line rather than that piece. So go ahead and draw your lines. Cut up, again, watching where this hand is so you don't get your fingers, and don't cut above the line. That will mess up your blanket. So now I have all these little fringy cuts. Here's where it gets a little tricky. You have 2 choices. Your first choice is you can knot these. I don't like how they look knotted, but what you would do is just take it and go around, and you would tie a knot. If you're going to knot them like this, you need to pull very loosely. You don't want this knot getting tight because then the blanket doesn't lay flat. So you just pull very loosely, straighten it out, and they look like this. So that's the knot method. The method I like goes like this. So you're going to take your fabric and you're gonna pinch it at the top and cut a little slit, little. And then all you're gonna do is take this piece and go up through the hole and pull. It's a lot easier once you're actually doing it. But again, you're gonna take your fabric, okay? So like, here's my little piece, and I fold it in half, and I cut a little tiny slit, and then I'm gonna take this. You have to remember which way you went, because I don't remember if I went down or up. But so we're gonna go back up and pull, okay? So again, take your fabric, fold it down, cut a little tiny slit, and then pull. This way is a little bit easier. There's a difference though, so let's see. You can decide which way you think is nicer. This is the pull method. The smaller you make these, the nicer it looks. Here's your knot method. So again, smaller slits, it's gonna look better. The larger the slits, there's kind of like some holes. So you'll want to fold, itty bitty little slit, and then pull it through. Okay? And one more time, if you're doing the knot, just take it, wind it around your finger, pull it through, and just pull really gently, okay? Some chapters of Project Linus, like my chapter, which is in LA, they want this pull through method. Other chapters don't care. Mine just doesn't want knots. So we're not going to be doing knots, we're gonna be doing pull through, but I think either way is fine. And then you're gonna go all the way around, and it's going to look so awesome when you're done. Let me see if I have masking tape. Okay, I got some painter's tape. I'm gonna try to show you what that trick was. So you would take your blanket and you would lay it out. This is not a big enough space, but you'd lay out your corner, and then you would take your tape and you would make a straight line from, hold on, from one side to the other. So I would take it like this, and right at the top of that cut, I would lay down my tape. I'm not so great at straight lines. I think the other way is easier. And then what some people will do is they'll take that, I lost my little piece. Oh, here it is. They'll take that little 1-inch piece, and now you can just do it on the line. So right on the tape. And now you have lines to cut to. So you would just cut, like that. It's another way you can do it. Either way, just when you pull this off, pull carefully because it will pull the fabric. Painter's tape is better than masking tape. Or again, just use this and kind of line it up and trace. This is a ballpoint pen, it works just fine. And then cut. Good luck. If you have questions, you can email me. I will post another video of someone else explaining it, because sometimes hearing something a different way is helpful. Once you get all the way done, you will have created a beautiful cozy quilt for a child in need. And we're so excited that we get to have you. We'd love if you would send us pictures of your blankets and where you're from, so that we can see how many blankets we make and everyone who's participating. Thanks, guys.